everybody. This week we talk about how to either sell or rent your house to launch your nomad life. Stay tuned.
We're Chris and Steve, an early retired couple who sold everything to travel the world full time. We share our nomad life, hikes, and vegan eats. Grab our book, 2 Carry-Ons and a Plan on Amazon and follow us on social. Subscribe to catch our video every Sunday.
Where are we?
We are in Peaks Island, which is a beautiful island off the coast of Portland, Maine, and it's just been a fabulous summer and really enjoying our adventures. And today we're talking about your house. If you're going to become a full-time nomad, a full-time traveler, what are you going to do with the house that you own?
Yeah, so lots of options there. But first, let's do a little housekeeping. We launched a membership program here. If you are a YouTube subscriber, you can become a member of our channel. And we had a new member named Victor who signed up. And as part of his membership, he actually got to have a 30-minute consultation with us on Zoom. And guess what he talked about? I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, well, he wanted to talk about your knee.
Yeah.
He didn't want to talk about my knee.
And he just had some questions about the medical procedures I got on my knee. You can watch the video up here about our medical care in Kuala Lumpur. And so we had a little half-hour chat. So if you are interested in having a consultation with us, whether about your nomad life or launching or planning your travels or medical care around the world, as you know, we're not doctors, lawyers, accountants, or financial planners, so don't ask about that. But we're certainly willing to have you join our membership, and we will get in touch with you about having a little consultation with us. So, what did we talk about last week?
So last week, just real briefly, we talked about a few of the conversations that you need to have when you're starting to plan your nomad life, when you're about 18 months out or 2 years out or a year out, really getting ready to get rid of your things and start your full-time travel life. You want to have some conversations with your family and your friends and get your affairs in order and maybe start thinking about some of the things that you need to get rid of. But now we're fast forward and we're going to be talking about your house.
Yeah.
This is where all your stuff is, and what are you going to do with your house? And we'll tell you our example, but we know that there's a lot of options, so we just kind of want to run through some of the different things and different benefits that you may not have thought of.
Right, and this continues the series that you guys seem to be liking because you're giving us likes and you're subscribing, the Your Nomad Adventure Starts Here series. So we actually turn that into a playlist. So you can subscribe to the playlist of Your Nomad's Adventure Starts Here and get all these videos alerted to you as soon as they come out. So I think our next couple of videos are going to be on this theme. So if you like it, keep on liking us and we'll keep on liking you. So renting or selling your house? This is a big question. And a lot of people think it's a financial question that, should we crunch the numbers and decide renting it will give us more money or selling it will give us more money? There are a lot of financials you need to think about when renting or selling your house. But actually, it's bigger than that. You've got to think about a lot more about renting or selling your house than just the financials, right?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, and we've just heard stories all across the board, it's a lot about, the commitment or the attachment that you have to your home. This is the home that I've lived in for the last 20 years or so. And I really, how could I get rid of my house? And, for us, we lived in Denver for about 10 years. And when we bought that house, we really cared about, is it in a good school district? Is it a good family home? Is it big enough, for all of us? Is it
well located to downtown and the airport?
Yeah,
all these different criteria, right, that we didn't have when we were about to retire. Right. So when we took a look at the house, we decided we had to ask ourselves a couple questions. Number one, when the nomad life ends, even if we know when that is, which we don't even know when that is, are we going to want to move back into that particular house? And what did we decide?
And that was easy. No,
it
was a 4-bedroom house. I mean, it was a great location, but there's no way that, a retired couple needs to have a house that big. And
for us, for you, maybe that's exactly what you want, but not for us.
In that particular, location, it's just not something that we would come back to. But then, the next decision is, well, you could just, rent it out and you can get the rental income from it.
Right. Well, I think maybe the next thing we thought about once we decided that house was not for us, then we thought about, well, did we want to move somewhere else in Denver? Maybe get a smaller place, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in Denver. And what did we decide about that?
I mean, ultimately, we decided that we just didn't want to be landlords.
Mm-hmm.
You give a great example, but essentially, it's something that you have to worry about. And if we're halfway across the world, we don't want to get this, phone call about pipes bursting or, renters that, that
Did
are doing
whatever.
something wrong or something like that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many things that you just need to worry about when you own property. We just decided, that we just didn't want to do
And we
that.
also, since we didn't know where we wanted to eventually be in the future, we didn't want to have some sort of anchor that made us go back to that. But look at you with your cup. What's it say this
I
month?
know.
This time? Let's see.
No.
Browns Canyon National Monument.
Browns Canyon.
Do you know where Browns Canyon is? Put in a comment below. We know where it is. It's fabulous. It's a very unknown national monument. Write down in the comments where you think Browns Monument is, or Browns Canyon, and if you've been there. Anyway, so where were we? What was I talking about?
We were decided we want to sell our house,
Right. Oh,
or if we want to buy something else.
right. And ultimately, what we decided was, since we have no idea where we wanted to be, I mean, we could be in Portugal or Taiwan, or we don't know. At the time, we didn't know. We still don't know. But we just didn't want to have an anchor that made us come back to someplace.
Yeah.
So that made it easy for us to decide to sell the house. Now, for you, there are lots of options that you could do with your house. You could do nothing. You could turn the key and leave and do nothing.
Come back
Hooray
6 months
for you.
later, a year later, whatever.
You could rent it out, long term or full time, or some sort of lease option.
Turn it into an Airbnb.
Yeah, or vacation rental, or
Yeah.
Verbo,
Of
or
course,
something
you
like
need to
that.
make sure that you've got the management team in place, because you're not going to come back every 2 weeks to change the sheets for the next person. But
Right. Or maybe your family member is going to move in or something, whatever. Or you just may want to use it as a home base to come back to. We have some friends that they own a place in Florida. They come back once a year for a couple months and they leave it vacant for the rest of the year because it just makes sense. That's what makes sense to them. Lots of options, no right answers or no wrong answers. For us, the right answer for us was to sell our house, and then we will get to the whole conversation of how we got rid of all the stuff in the house. But we decided to sell the house. So once we decided to sell our house, which I don't know, we kind of were pretty quick about that decision, right?
yeah, we just decided that we just don't want to be property owners at this point in time, and using the money from the proceeds from our house, and we're investing that wisely, and we're watching it grow.
Right. So we decided to sell our house. So the next thing we had to do was figure out how to vote and how to get our mail, and we're going to talk about that in the next video.